As the world of social media evolves, so does our ability to consume hockey. Trick shots, prodigies,
What does the future hold for a young athlete with such remarkable gifts?
funny clips. We have seen numerous viral stars explode on the internet and garner hundreds of millions of views, which only helps the growth of our game. However, just because they went viral doesn't necessarily mean they have what it takes to be an NHL player.
Lafleur drags him down. Nothing called, and Michigan still scrambling. It's a goal.
During a March Madness matchup in 1996, a player by the name of Mike Legg would pull off an absurd, never-before-seen goal in hockey history, as he would scoop up the puck behind the net and shove it over the goalie's shoulder, leaving the commentators in disbelief.
Oh, he just reaches around and stuffs it in the top.
Put it in.
Unbelievable.
That was an unbelievable goal by Mike Legg.
And whether he knew it or not, Mike would invent one of the most legendary goals in hockey. And weirdly enough, this goal seems unfair, a cheat code. But you have to recall it can be easily defended with an active stick and requires high concentration and perfect timing. Not to mention you will look like an absolute clown if you mess it up. But since then, we have seen numerous players attempt the new goal coined the Michigan goal. Sidney Crosby did it a long time ago. And funny enough, after Andrei Svechnikov had the guts to pull it off in an actual NHL game, we've been seeing more and more players attempt to do it at the NHL level. And probably one of the cleanest examples was Niels Hoglander during the 2019 World Juniors.
And this is the brilliance of these players to be able.
And after all this hype and commotion, Mike Legg in the Michigan goal would even be added to NHL 21, over 2 decades after the initial event. Now, unfortunately, Legg would never come close to making the NHL, but what he did do is create a legacy, far greater than he could have ever expected. And this might be a hot take, but if players are getting better and more consistent with this move, I could actually see it getting banned in the future. But what do you guys think? Is it cool? Is it tacky? And do you think it will get banned? When it comes to being flashy and embarrassing the opponent's goalie, Linus Omar probably has one of the best shootout mixtapes in hockey history. I mean, I have maybe one person in mind who has done it better, but being number 2 to one of the best players the game has ever seen, well, that isn't such a bad thing. And if you enjoy the videos, make sure to press subscribe for some more awesome hockey content. This entire year has been an absolute trip, and I can't thank you guys enough because your support has been truly life-changing. During the late 2000s and early 2010s, we would see several Linus Omar videos explode on the internet. Specifically this one. And of course, he would even pull off a Michigan goal. And being that Omar was a late round draft pick, these viral videos would see his stock shoot through the roof. All of a sudden, the Edmonton Oilers had a potential phenom stolen from the 4th round. Now, the videos that went viral receiving millions of views were mostly shootout goals, but the pure skill, the confidence, the creativity, it was extremely exciting. So when the news broke that Omar had officially signed an entry-level contract with the Edmonton Oilers, the hockey world was highly anticipating what Omar could do in North America. And well, during his initial stint in the minors, he would do this, and would then proceed to get 4 goals and score in a shootout, which would single-handedly lead him to being called up to the NHL. And in his first NHL game, and I'm not even joking, Omar would live up to every inch of the hype that led him to the NHL, as he would score a beautiful shootout winner that included a highly controversial spinorama. A spinorama that infuriated fans, players, and even GMs.
And several others.
Disrespectful for what? Because he spun around, he confused the goalie?
I can say I don't agree with him
to do this year.
I
traded
think it was
emails
great.
with Steve Yzerman today. I don't think he was a big fan of it as well. He's certainly not a guy that would have done it when he was in this.
Now, I won't go too deep into that rabbit hole, but for someone who made a name for himself from these exact moves, are you really going to be that surprised when he brings his game to the NHL level? I mean, I'm personally not. And a few months later, Omar would once again prove his godly creativity and shootout execution.
Omar stops, slides it home.
And would wrap up his rookie campaign with a respectable 27 points in 51 games. However, after a drastic rise to fame, Omar would crash just as hard. As the next season he dealt with injuries, got sent up and down, and would leave the NHL altogether as he would sign a one-year deal in the NLA during the 2013 NHL lockout. But he would dominate, which would again instill hope in the minds of Oilers fans. However, in 2014 he would return, but it was very apparent that Omar was far too one-dimensional to hold a top 6 roster spot. So, he'd be traded to Buffalo for a 6th round pick. He played 13 games and would be put on waivers for the purpose of contract buyout and termination. Now, luckily today Omar has continued to be a superstar in the KHL in Switzerland, but Omar has a very interesting story, as he went from a viral sensation, proving his game in the NHL, and finally experiencing a massive fall from grace.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
Before Coach Jeremy's son became what is perhaps the most famous 4-year-old hockey player capable of existing, lived another viral sensation. In my child prodigy video, we brought up Oliver Wahlstrom, and I would not be doing this video justice without including him. Because back in 2009, Oliver Wahlstrom would become an overnight sensation. Because before an actual NHL game, he would do this.
Oliver, is that in the last few weeks, he has become an internet sensation, all because of this move he put on a goalie in a shootout between periods of a Boston Bruins game.
And this clip would receive tens of millions of views. Wahlstrom would appear on local and even national news stations.
My first autograph, and I can't do cursive yet.
And even appeared on a Shaquille O'Neal and LeBron James edition of Sports Illustrated. So, combine this with the fact that Wahlstrom wasn't just flashy, but was really a child prodigy, Oliver was the most famous 9-year-old in the country. He would then go on to dominating youth hockey. He got recruited by the USDP, drafted 11th overall, and today is one of the New York Islanders' top prospects. And it is fascinating that a viral sensation like Wahlstrom was able to carry the momentum into becoming a legitimate NHL player.
Okay, so I'm looking at this scouting briefing on you, and the term magic hands is on here. Can you describe what?
Heading into the 2014 NHL draft, a prospect named Sonny Milano would explode on social media after showing off his elite puck skills and just tricks. Now, funny enough, today I would say it's pretty common to see kids and other hockey players do this stuff. But back then, it wasn't at all. And you could probably say that Milano going viral inspired a wave of hockey players from the next generation. I mean, we have players like Zach Bell, bringing in millions of views and establishing a career from his hockey tricks. And as for Sonny Milano, he would go from a decently well-known prospect to exploding on social media right before the draft, which of course would lead him to being drafted 16th overall by the Columbus Blue Jackets. And after this clip emerged, many people started finding more, realizing that Milano is a wizard with a puck. And today, Milano has kind of bounced back and forth a lot, but given his elite puck skills, he will remain a very intriguing prospect. And a common trend I discovered while researching for this video is that a lot of viral stars are very elite at one single thing. Yes, you can be known as a shootout hero every single night. Yes, you can pull off some pretty cool tricks, but if you only have one real trait to fall back on, you will run into some issues where you are far too one-dimensional. And it definitely shows that just because you went viral from your abilities does not mean those abilities are strong enough to make it to the NHL. But anyways guys, can you name a viral hockey star? Comment down below, I'd love to know. And make sure to press subscribe for some more awesome hockey content. We are getting so close to 40,000 subscribers. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it by the end of the year, but with your support, we can definitely try. But anyways, I hope all you guys are doing well. See you guys later.